This is the Mr. Chris Hip Hop Podcast, episode number 36. Let's go.
Yo, come on, let's go. Put your right leg to the side. Now jump. Put your left leg to the side. Now jump. Cross your arms, do it real tight. Now jump. Put your arms up real high. Now jump. Put your right leg to the side. Now jump. Put your left leg to the side. Now jump. Cross your arms, do it real tight. Now jump. Put your arms up real high. Come on,
yo, what it do? Everybody out there in podcast land, what up to all my teachers out there on the grind doing your thing? Welcome to this podcast. I got plenty of information for you this week, and I hope that it's helpful. Definitely good resources for all of my hip-hop dance teachers out there. So check me out, podomatic.com, Mr. Chris Hip Hop. You can get me on Twitter, and my handle is at Mr. Chris Hip Hop. Instagram is at Mr. Chris Hip Hop. Facebook page is Zondaflex, Zondaflex, and check me out on there because I've been posting a lot of my Periscope videos on there lately. I just started doing that this week, so I want to do more of that where I post some of the actual moves that we've been working on. So check that out. Check me out on Periscope too, at Mr. Chris Hip Hop. What else? Snapchat is Nashville Dance. And of course, the website is www.mrchrishiphopdance.com. All right, so this week's podcast, the title of it is 4 Things You Can Work On in Your Hip Hop Class This Week. 4 things that you can work on in your hip hop class this week. I also have a song pick of the week, but I'm not going to post the song because for some reason when I've been posting the joints on there, like if I try to post a podcast on YouTube, it's blocking some of it. So I'm just going to give you the name of the song, the artist, and then I'll post the link at the bottom. So when you see me, when I put the podcast up at the bottom of it, when you go to the website, when you hit the blog section, that's where you'll see all the podcasts there. At the bottom, all the information, I'll post the moves that I have, the Periscope videos, and also my song pick of the week. All right, let's get to it. 4 things you can work on as a hip-hop teacher this week in your class. And this is not only for this week, but I'm talking about this month, this year, some things that you want to kind of do so that you can see some improvement in your students. And also, just so you can kind of keep up with their growth, right? Like there's certain things, and I'm going to get into it in this podcast, where there's certain things that we kind of do as teachers where we forget about the moves that we did before because we're always so busy creating new material that sometimes if we go back and kind of do the foundation moves over and over and over again, we can look at them and be able to see the growth that's taking place. So here it is, 4 things you can work on in your hip-hop class this week. Number 1. So the move of the week that we had was the worm. Now the worm is one of the oldest moves ever. I think the worm is the first move that I learned. When I played football, there's a dude that taught me, pretty much is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now. His name is Eddie Johnson. Shout out to Eddie Johnson, Cincinnati, Ohio. So we playing football. I'm straight set on becoming a professional football player. That's all I'm thinking about. This dude on the field, talking about some, yo, Chris, check this out. I'm saying, he shoulder pads and everything. He jumped down. He did 2 moves. One of them was the worm. The other one was the wave. This dude dropped down on the ground with his equipment on, started doing the worm, and I was like, I had never seen it before. I'm like, what is you doing? Why do you look like a mermaid or something on the ground? What is happening? Explain this to me. I don't know what's going on. But dude, it was crazy. But from that moment on, I was intrigued. I was like, this is what I want to do. Whatever that was, whatever he did on the ground, whatever he did with his arm, doing that little wave, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. And from that point on, every time I say my practice, I'm like, Eddie, show it to me again. Show it to me again. Show it to me again. So that was my move of the week. And you know what I realized? There was a whole group of kids that from August when they registered for the class, I never taught them the worm. Because I learned it back in the day. A lot of you teachers out there, you learned it back in the day. You either learned it or you seen it. You know about the worm, though. The worm is old school. Some people call it the centipede, whatever you want to call it. But as time goes, each year there's students that come in. We have ones that graduate. It's the circle of life. That's just what it is. None of them had done the worm before, so we worked on the worm. That this is also, part of building up their, like when we always ask them to freestyle, and I don't know what to do. This is one of the moves right here, and I just keep telling them over and over. Every time we work on a single move, this is how you build up your arsenal to be able to freestyle. Every freestyle circle, every move is made up of a series of moves that you know how to do, moves that you've worked on. So the worm, it's the first thing you can do. Work on the worm. Teach the worm. We took time. I got a mat out. You don't need the big mat either. You can get one of the small blue ones if you have them. And, make it a certain point in the class where it's like they're not, it's not too early on, but you kind of want to, maybe in the middle of class was what we did. Whip the mats out. It's kind of like an icebreaker too. So whatever you're working on before or after that, I would probably do, like if you're doing choreography that week, I probably save that for the end, in the middle, just to break up whatever you started with. Break out the worm. It's great. Forwards or backwards. And in the show notes, I will post a video that we watch. And to my teachers out there too, don't feel bad if I got down and tried to show them. There was one student in class that tried to show them. Nobody was getting it. And then I was like, hold on. I got my phone out. Got the YouTube, put in how to do the worm. One of the videos, it was it had one guy doing it, and then there was a girl doing it. And you never know what's going to connect with the kids. The one with the girl, one of my little girls, one of my 8-year-olds was like, what, she can do it? I think I can do it. Dropped down and just did it just because she saw somebody else that looked like her, that was around her age doing it. So, and this is just for my teachers out there. Don't feel no shame in whipping out the YouTube video. Because the move is the move is the move. It doesn't matter. Whether you get down and do it or they see it. Sometimes these kids, their brain is so used to connecting with social media. Sometimes when you show them something that's a YouTube or Snapchat, Instagram of a move, it just clicks. It's like, oh, forget what you've been saying all year. Oh, that's it. So the worm, that's number one. Number two, second thing you can do, you can work on in your hip hop class this week. And I guarantee you, somebody's going to get it. Everybody might not get it, but somebody's going to get it. This move I like to call crazy feet. Now, it's a type of footwork, but crazy feet is like, if you can imagine doing the heel toe, where you take your feet, you place your right foot in front of the left, and you turn both toes toward the right or both toes toward the left. That's like the heel toe dance, and you do that to a rhythm, like stomp, turn, stomp, turn, stomp, turn. Many of you have seen that before. Some of you haven't, but it's a dance. The crazy feet is like if I want to go to the right, my right toe goes up and then my left heel goes up. Then they come down in the middle. Then the same thing when I go to the left, my left toe goes up, my right heel. So what I'll do, because I have not posted a Periscope or a video or Instagram of that, but I will. I will try to do that and post that this week and put it on this podcast. The crazy feet. Or work on some type of footwork. And it's a good moment, like you have everybody get in the circle and everybody's kind of focused on the feet, whether it's the heel toe or the crazy feet. And it's just a good connection moment. And then feel free to give them a couple minutes to kind of work on their own. Practice that. Put on an instrumental beat, and let it ride and kind of work on it like that. Here's another thing too. When you have older kids in the class and younger kids, once you teach the skill, so it's crazy feet or the worm, whatever, give about 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes of letting the older kids work with the youngers. Like we did a class the other day. I was just showing some simple moves, but then I kind of did like the So You Think You Can Dance Next Generation vibe, where I was like, I'm gonna pair you up with an all-star. So the youngers you get with an all-star, and they working on it. And for my older kids, they was like, at the end of class, they was like, that was so much fun. That was so dope. And to me, I was like, I was just seeing, like the youngers not catching on. Some of the olders, I felt like they were getting frustrated, but they wasn't. They was determined. They was like, oh, you gonna get this. So it kind of brings the family together, brings the class together, and just gives you something, to kind of vibe with. So crazy feet, some type of footwork. That's number 2. Number 3, go to my Periscope video. I just put it up. You can go to the YouTube channel, which is Christopher Tyler on there, or you can type in Mr. Chris Hip Hop. You could go on Periscope, and I've been posting the videos on my Facebook page. But this latest Periscope video that I put out, I did a whole b-boy, b-girl warm-up. And we were working on it just to, I like to call it sync drills. It's not necessarily choreography, but it practices some of the breakdance moves. And because I had an intermediate advanced class, it works on them staying together. Because it's kind of hard, like when you're doing a 6-step and coffee grind and stuff like that, it's hard to stay together with those type of moves. So I took some time out. I was like, this is a sync drill. And you know what? It's also great cardio. It's a great cardio workout when you do it over and over. That's why I call it a warm-up. Because instead of just running, like after we run or whatever, if you just do this little set that I have, it's great. But the third thing you can do in your hip-hop class this week is break down that Periscope video that I just put out and teach it. Break it down. It's all sorts of moves in there. There's enough moves in there for you to have material for a month, actually. You could there's Indian step top rocks, there's some side-to-side top rocks, some go-downs, there's James Brown splits, there's kip-ups, there's kip-up into the James Brown splits, there's James Brown splits both sides where you come up, go back down, come up, go back down, and not touching. All that. It's on the Instagram video too. I got like about a minute clip of it. So check that out. So that's number 3. Look at that video. Break it down. That was the actual class where we worked on. Oh, we did a 6-step too, and the 6-step song is on my first album on iTunes. Go to I think it's called Zonda 101, and on there you got the wave song, you got the jump song, you got the 6-step. A lot of the techniques on there. Don't get away from that. Just go back to that. Break that. Keep that video. Stay on that link. And break it down. So one class you might teach the James Brown splits. My younger kids love that class because first of all, they're like, "Who is James Brown?" I have no clue, know what you're talking about. And then, but they can do the splits already. But then it's like, oh, the hat when one leg bent, the other one, yeah. So work that. Check out that Periscope video, b-boy, b-girl warm up. Teach it and break it down. Number 4, last thing is, and this is for my teachers out there. Make a list of all the moves that you taught last year and just repeat them. Sit down, get you an Evernote. I'm always going to be talking about my Evernote app because that's what I'm using right now. So I use for every class, all my choreography. Now, sometimes when I go back, look at my choreography, I'm like, what in the world did I write down? I have no clue. So I try to make it as simple as possible so I can read it and understand it. But I mean, it's great. Teachers, dance teachers out there, get that Evernote app if you don't have it. Some type of note-taking app, you know what I mean? You might have one on your phone already, but you use it. Make sure it's to the cloud and you can access it through all your devices, no matter where you are. I was out of town one time, my phone went down. Pull up on somebody else's phone. Let me log into my Evernote. Oh, there it is. So make a list of all the moves you taught last year. Think back. If you can't remember, go back to your recital DVDs and look at them in your hip-hop classes. What'd you do? What they do? Face freeze, they do it. And repeat. That's one thing. I did another video on that where it was called Pass the Moves Down to Your Kids. Because, like I said, as teachers, we get we always creating new music comes out, new moves. And when the new kids come and register, there's just something in us like, I already taught that. Like, how many times have you said to a class, do y'all remember when I taught blah, blah, blah? And then they look at you like you're crazy. Like, no, I don't. It's because we haven't. But in our brain, we teach so much, especially if you do a lot of classes, you teach so much that, you think you've covered one subject. And you have, but maybe not with these particular kids. So there it is. Make a list, all the moves you taught last year, and repeat them with the new classes. Repeat them with the youngers. Do it again. So there it is. 4 things you can work on this week. Let me say it again. Number 1, and if you're taking notes, go ahead and write it down. Number 1, the worm. Just go back to one of the basics. Teach the worm. Number 2, crazy feet or some type of footwork. Number 3, break down that Periscope video, b-boy, b-girl warm-up. Now, for your intermediate advanced studio, kids, you can teach that whole thing. Just take that and teach that. I really want that to be a good resource for something. So if you come into class, I don't know what to do today, it's very challenging. Get out the mats, work on the kip ups, into the James Brown split, stuff like that. And then number 4, make a list of all the moves you did in every hip hop combination that you can remember that you taught last year and repeat it. All right, so that's it. That's all I got. Those are the 4 things. I hope that they are very helpful. I got a song pick of the week. Now this one is called, I'm not going to post the song, like I said, because I don't want it to get blocked if I post this podcast on YouTube. So the song is called Trndsttr. Here's how it's spelled. Trndsttr. That's Trndsttr. Trndsttr. And you want to look for the Lucian remix. Kidda and Fiction danced to this on So You Think You Can Dance, and it was dope. I was like, they killed that. Good for freestyle music for class. Good for warm-up music for class. And then then even for your freestyle, every one of these moves in here, once you teach them, like if you start off with some of them at the beginning of class, when you do your freestyle circle, you do all of it. The worm, try it. Crazy feet. Indian step, top rock, James Brown splits, whatever you want to do. So there it is. I have a giveaway this week because some of y'all see, if you follow me on Instagram, and did I post this on? No, I didn't do this on Periscope, but on Instagram, I posted some of the kids. It's actually a song I did for my wife for her jazz class. It's called the Leg Catch Warm-Up Song. I have the song done, but I haven't put it out yet. Because I don't know if I'm going to put it out as a single or if it's going to be part of an album. I've been doing a lot of music. My wife, she'll just come to me and be like, I'm teaching this, I need a song for it. And I'll just go and record it. So a lot of these songs, like my ballet, I think the ballet album is done, so I'm going to put it together in one project. But this one is a leg catch song. So we did it the other day, did it twice this week. And then in camp when we do it, she was like, yes, we're going to do that. 5-6 times a day, just over and over again. And it's just 8 times on the right, 8 times on the left. No, it's not hip hop, but you know what? It's dance. And that's what I do, is dance. So, but here's my giveaway to my teachers out there. If you listen to this podcast, send me an email, chris@mrchrishiphopdance.com, and request the leg catch song. And for my dance teachers, I will send it to you for free. That'll be my giveaway. This offer will only last until I put it out on iTunes or CD Baby. So there it is. It's just a little, because actually, a friend of ours in Athens, Tennessee, studio just went to. Shout out to Lisa Sharp in the building. I just sent it to her. I was like, you know what? You guys use this. Enjoy it. Because it's working for our kids. They love it. They don't talk through it. They know you're done when the song is done. And you just play it. So the leg catch song. Send me an email, chris@mrchrishiphopdance.com. And I will send you a free copy of the leg catch song. All right, that's all I got. Guys, thank you for tuning in to this week's podcast. I hope you enjoy it. Again, website, www.mrchrishiphopdance.com. Hit me up on Twitter, @MrChrisHipHop, Instagram, @MrChrisHipHop, Facebook, Zondaflex, Periscope, @MrChrisHipHop, and YouTube channel, Mr. Chris Hip Hop, or Christopher Tyler. That's it. That's all I got. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'm out.
Yo, come on, let's go. Put your right leg to the side. Now jump. Put your left leg to the side. Now jump. Cross your arms, do it real tight. Now jump. Put your arms up real high. Now jump. Put your right leg to the side. Now jump. Put your left leg to the side. Now jump. Cross your arms, do it real tight. Now jump. Put your arms up real high. Come on, now just roll to the front. Roll to the front. Roll to the front. Roll to the front.